In what ways does your media product use, challenge or develop forms and conventions of real media products? Our band is called The Reservoirs and they are originally from Southampton. However, we marketed them as a London band as they are of the indie rock genre. A stereotypical video for this genre would be a performance and a narrative, so this is what we did for our video. We used the majority of narrative footage because the filming was a lot stronger, and we used a little bit of the performance footage as we still wanted to include this and we still wanted to use the correct conventions. Also, a lot of other bands we looked at this genre, indie rock, used both performance and narrative, and we also did this so that our audience didn't get bored of just one lot of footage. Throughout our narrative, we created a relationship between the lyrics and the visuals, and this was so that the audience could actually see and visualise what they're listening about. An example of this is when the track says, "He's got his eyes set on you," and you see firstly a close-up of the main singer's face with his eyes, and secondly you see an extreme close-up of the main character's eye and then the girl character's eye. We also created a relationship between the music and the visuals, and an example of this is when right at the beginning of the track you hear four or five taps and you see the main singer, tapping the microphone. Another example is when the main character in the narrative walks to the beat of the song, and this is really conventional for rock and indie rock music videos. So this was actually due to how our video was edited. We beat edited it. It was done on purpose so that the video matches the beat and also the pace of the song, which is in our case quite fast. And we did this in our video and because our shots were really fast paced and they were cut together quite quickly, which represents the indie rock genre and the speed of our music. And we've completely stuck to the conventions here of sticking to beat editing and seeing the visuals match to the beat of the song. However, even though we've done this, our video is still slow enough for the audience to understand the narrative and what's happening in the narrative, but it just makes it a bit less boring, a bit more interesting and exciting, like we try to portray our band, and it also shows that our band are quite energetic. An example of this is when our video cuts get faster in the instrumental as the song gets a lot faster and upbeat. As we also used some performance footage in our video, we wanted to use the best possible actors to give us a really good and confident performance. We used previous drama students and a music student, as it's a genre convention to have confidence in the performance. Also, the band are represented as a united group, which came through our good choices of actors because they were comfortable around each other and can act well together. We made sure we did this to get the best performance, which would be a believable one and a confident one, which is a main convention in a music video. A really obvious convention in an indie rock video is for the band to actually be featured in it, and to gain any of our performance shots, we felt that we had to stick to this convention. Our main singer is also our main character throughout our narrative, however he only performs when he's with the rest of the band, which is in the performance shots, because we didn't want to ruin the continuity of the narrative. Also, we use lip syncing throughout our performance shots, which is a very, very stereotypical trait for any music video of all different genres. We use this with our main singer to show that he has ownership of the song, and it also shows that he has the ability to sing live at gigs or on tour. Also, the other band members were playing their guitars, which we instrument sync to the song to show that they look comfortable together as a band and to show that they're actually able to play live to the audience and fans. This really sticks to the conventions of syncing in music videos. The guitars we used in our music video were in fact acoustic guitars, however in our track their electric guitars are actually used, so we did in fact actually break the conventions here. This is only because we couldn't actually get hold of any electric guitars to take out of school to use for our props, so we used what we could get, so we used the acoustic guitars. However, this hasn't affected any of our feedback and it still looks really convincing in our video as a live band playing instruments. I personally believe that the acoustic guitar actually worked a lot better in the narrative, as it fitted in better with the type of character we portrayed. The reason we didn't include a drum kit as one of our props in our performance shots is because we felt that as our band are a quite stripped down, laid back band, we felt that we didn't actually need one, and that they'd be strong enough and powerful enough to be able to get on with the performance without one. The rest of the props we used were conventional for a band performance. This is the microphone stand, the microphone, which the main singer will always use when singing live or if they're singing in a music video. The other props we used were in the narrative, and one of these was the blanket for the main character. It was like his main priority, and he had it with him wherever he went, and this symbolised that he was a sort of lower class citizen from an urban area busking to try and get money. The other props we used were the beer bottles, and which they represent drinking and alcohol, and this is very stereotypical for the indie rock genre because you see it in a lot of this type of music video, and also our target audience are old enough to be able to drink alcohol, so they can connect and relate to this. The reason that we chose our urban city location, London, is so that we can show where our band are actually from. However, we only used run-down back streets, underpasses and tunnels, as they're not extremely well known and a lot of people don't really go there. This is also where our target audience are from, so that they can relate to the band. Also, after looking at a lot of other indie rock videos, we found that they were all set in urban locations, so we have in fact developed this convention by only filming in the less busy, not as busy, well-known parts of London, which describes our band. And our main character is quite laid back, however they're still quite interesting as they're not that out there yet, and they're not in the more acting in the more busy parts. Our other location, which was the warehouse, also describes our band as being not very well established and well known yet, and this is as if this is the place they go to rehearse or practice their music, get new ideas, and it's a rundown, not as luxurious kind of place, which suggests that they're only young and they're trying to become more well known, and this is just a starting point for them. This sticks to the genre convention of not being in a very luxurious, massive kind of place, as indie rock bands are generally set, music videos are generally set in smaller, more run-down kinds of places. After researching and looking at existing indie rock bands, like an example is The Script, we discovered that the types of costumes and makeup which would be suitable for our band, and we tried to conform to this convention in our video by dressing our actors in similar sort of clothes and makeup, which we dressed them in leather jacket, checkered shirt, dark coloured jeans, and for the makeup we gave them quite subtle eyeliner just to show that they're from an indie rock genre. By doing this we did represent the correct image of the band and how our band should stereotypically look from this genre. A convention in any music video is to have a wide variety of shot types and angles, as well as a lot of these being close-ups. Throughout our video we used many different shots, types and angles so that our audience wouldn't get bored when watching it, and also so that they could see the narrative and the performance from different perspectives and different sort of views. We did use a lot of close-ups due to the fact that we wanted to conform to this convention and not break it, as it's a very well-known one, and so that our artists could have eye contact with their audience and create a relationship with them, so it's more personal to their greatest fans. This also creates an element of mystery as well, as you can only see like a certain part of the body or the instrument that they're playing. Overall, throughout our music video, we did conform to the majority of the conventions and only really broke one, which was the changing the electric guitar to the acoustic guitars, but obviously that was the only thing that we could do, so we had to deal with what we had. The reason we wanted to conform to all of these conventions is so that we could have an accurate music video and make sure that people would recognise it as an indie rock genre.